I look at like two verticals here. Let me put my hands on the screen. Um, if you look at the way that the live experience of watching a baseball game or any game really has evolved versus like the TV experience, right? The TV experience is like has evolved rapidly
Mhm.
over the last 10, 15 years, while the in-game experience largely is the same. You can talk about, different presentations and what the Sixers are doing or what the Eagles are doing or whatever, but the foundational thing is you're sitting there in the stands watching it. Okay. Right. So that's never really going to change. We went from shit TVs with terrible quality with they didn't even have lower third chyrons on there. They had to bring up the score every 5 seconds to show us. But now you have great graphics packages. You got high definition. You
Even though
got
I don't like the graphics package for NBC Sports, I
Well,
can't
yeah,
see. I
allegedly,
can't see the pitch count. I can't see what they're hitting. I
that's
can't.
a whole no. That's a whole nother
I mean,
thing.
S and Y is just
can't
blow. It's the gold standard for baseball production, if you ask me.
Hold that because I want to ask you about that take that some people were did not appreciate. But here's the point: you got high definition, you got affordable like 85-inch TVs, you got DVR, you've got these like amazing sound bars, right? So the at home experience has outpaced the in game experience by a large margin. So it's like, why would I? If I had a choice, am I gonna like drive my ass down there and watch and have to be like looking over some dude's head the whole time? Am I gonna just like commute to my basement and
Kev, that's what I
grab
think it's
a
more
drink?
of.
Yeah.
I don't think it's more. I mean, and cost obviously with everything, and it all adds into it. I don't think that's the main argument. I think that's what that graph came out a couple months ago, and people love to just be like, "Oh, I'm going to get angry at the average cost of living," because you're paying so much fucking money for just to live everyday life, like you went over. I think it's like people just don't want to go to baseball games. The in stadium experience, from my point of view in Philadelphia, is not that great. It is not. Eagles are different. It's 8 games a year. It's the Eagles. Eagles are number one. Sixers are different. I would say their in-game experience is so much better. I can't talk about the Flyers. I've probably been to a game once in 5 years. The stadium, we're getting the same vanilla stadium we got 18 years ago, except now they put a kid playpen in the back right corner. So it's very good for families of 4. But then again, they're also bitching about the price of families of 4. So maybe the Phillies got to look in the mirror and say, hey, we might be marketing to the wrong people. Maybe we do need the college kids or the young kids. Or you said it in your article, boomers and Gen X, man. And we'll go millennials a little bit. You got to fill the stadium because the families of 4 can't. They're all
They
poor.
got the disposable. That's
give me beer specials. Put beer specials in the ballpark, and you can. It's because baseball has to be a social event. As you just said, I think the production of baseball is way behind because we're finally starting to see it. Felix Bautista in Baltimore when he comes out, the relief pitcher. It's this whole light show. It's insane. Timmy trumpets with Edwin Diaz. It's this whole big moment, and everybody's in it together, and everybody's clapping. That to me, the production of baseball, especially a live in-game experience, and even somewhat on television, has been the same as it has, as you just said, for not even just the past 18 years, for over 100 years. It's been the same. Nothing has changed other than a few things, and I think the Phillies and baseball in general needs to catch up with that. So again, you have to market towards, I think, people like my age, because I'm not going there and paying $15 for a beer. I'm not doing it. I would rather go down the corner on a corner bar right down the street from me, pay $2.50 for a Miller Lite and watch the game. Like I'd rather do that because that's at least a social event, and I'm not paying as much.
That's what you guys are looking. So for the stadium experience, at least for your guys' age bracket, I sound so old saying this. Your guys' age bracket, like beer specials, food specials, like concourse stuff like that, and less about like what's going on the jumbotron or the game presentation itself.
Yeah, I mean, baseball's a little too slow for like I mean, I was lucky enough to have a good Sunday last week. I remember Sundays in the beginning of the year. I think I saw 1 run in 3 games. It's just stuff like that. It's also, it was 50 degrees back in that time. But I mean, Kev, I went down with 4 people, me and 3 other people. I got a round of beers, $72. I mean, that's wild.
So you were there with 3 other people?
Yeah, so me and 3 other people. So getting around 4 drinks. $72 almost. About
72 divided by 4 is like 7. Like,
it's like 16 to 18 is what beers are going for right now.
Bad at math. Yeah. I don't know, man.
Sorry. And then I'm in right field, and they're talking about like this batter's eye bar that they're building out there, and it didn't come until around I think May or June or maybe even July. I'm like, okay, maybe this will be really cool. they painted it red, put the Budweiser sponsorship on it, and they had the same TVs and the same tables sitting around there in center field. I would say the best part about Citizens Bank Park right now is going to sit around the bullpen and just listen to people heckle, and you get a really good shot of the of the game.
But you know what it is, man? It's like and I don't envy the Phillies at all, or Comcast, NBC Sports Philadelphia at all, because they're trying to hit a moving target here. Okay, so you guys from a certain generation are looking for a certain thing, right? People in my generation who have 2 young kids, it's like, hey, I'm not anti-ballpark. It's just like I got all this other shit to worry about. Gen X, boomers, probably like, there's nothing wrong with it to begin with. So if you change something, then you're probably pissing them off, right? So it's like, how do you win? I'm not really sure.